Jeez. I thought today was a challenging one for us, just from a sheer training camp, 2 weeks in, mentally, physically. Everybody's a little sore, everybody's a little beat up, everybody's a little kind of mentally fatigued. But I thought all in all, the leaders were excellent today, especially defensively. I thought they rebounded really well from last night, showed great energy, and I thought the guys responded to that. And all that being said, we weren't ready to back off and make it a light practice. We wanted it to be hard. It was intentionally hard, and I thought the guys did a good job of fighting through it. We had a couple guys with ankles today. Justin, it wasn't a reoccurrence of anything from his old injury, but he did roll his ankle on a kickoff return. Damian Mama rolled an ankle in the middle of a drill there, and J.R. Tavai. So we had 3 guys roll ankles. Again, none of which, the first reports are, none of which are serious, but we'll obviously reevaluate just to make sure, but we think that these guys will be back with us in no time.
Would you say that Leonard and Antoine are close based on the fact that they did more today than they have been in a while?
Leonard obviously did much more, and Antoine has made really great strides. You know, he and Anthony Brown actually had the same injury with the hyperextension of their elbow. And for whatever reason, Antoine his body has responded to it much better. So I think we saw a lot of Leonard today compared to what he's been doing. I think we'll see a lot more in the next 2 days, and I think we'll see Antoine getting the pads back on and getting going here pretty soon as well.
Had you intended to go this hard after last night, going as hard as you did? That was
part of it, and it wasn't so much physical, it is mental. It's the mental side. It's a little bit warmer today. It could have been easy to say, oh, why are we going so hard? But the guys fought through it, and that's part of it. We're going to have to fight through it. And we're going to have to play when we're a little sore. And we're going to have to play when we've got something that maybe would hold other people out. But we don't have that luxury. So we have to learn to fight through. And I thought our guys, again, did a good job of responding today.
How did you think Adoree looked today?
A little bit rusty. It was a little rusty out there, just being disciplined, but all in all, his athleticism looked great. We saw him on a couple kickoff returns. He's exactly what we saw early on, but technique-wise, when you don't practice that long, you can be a little rusty. So we got to get him back going again.
He only worked on defense.
Yeah.
Like today. Is that going to be the plan?
That was it for today. First day back. Again, I didn't want to put too much on him again. Just try to get him back in the flow of practice.
How do you feel? 2 weeks from where you guys are at?
That's a great question, because Gary, I actually asked the team that exact thing when we just called them up. I said, guys, 2 weeks from today, we're going to be about second quarter against Fresno State. The sun's going to be right there. It's going to be a great afternoon. You got to go look yourself in the mirror here and ask yourself, one, am I ready to play a game? 2, if I'm not, what are the issues that I need to get worked on and get fixed here over the next 2 weeks to put yourself in position to play in 2 weeks? And that's everybody included. I think we're really close. We're not ready. But that's why you have 4 weeks for training camp and not 2. But I think we're getting closer by the day. I think our understanding of our schemes is light years ahead of where we were 2 weeks into spring ball. I think our guys have a really good understanding of what we're trying to get done. I think the quarterbacks are really operating at a high level right now, which is important. And we're playing fast. But that being said, there's a lot for us to get cleaned up to get ready to play an actual football game.
Sua got reps at strong side linebacker today. Do you think that that's ultimately where the coaching staff envisions him playing?
It varies on who our opponent's going to be. We play the Stanfords or the Oregon States of the world, the more traditional teams. I think we're going to see Sua back playing the traditional safety spot. So it's a luxury we have with him. He is such a versatile guy. He's got a very high football IQ that he allows us the luxury of moving him around.
Was he lenient at first, moving all over the field compared to playing traditional safety?
I don't think so. I think he just likes to make plays and be around the ball and create havoc, and he does it. He creates about a turnover a day, whether it's a forced fumble. He had an interception in our one-on-one drills today, covering a wide receiver in the slot. So I think he likes being around the ball, and this way allows us to get him involved in the action against teams that warrant it. And those are those spread teams that put a lot of receivers on the field, allow us to utilize his versatility.
What do you think of the state of your secondary as a whole right now?
I think we're getting healthier, which in turn is going to help us from a communication standpoint. Kevon is now not restricted at all, so he's free, good to go. Obviously getting Adoree back today, getting Sua back healthy, all those things. It's about continuity and it's about communication and working with one another. And the only way that can happen is by practicing together. And we're getting closer because those bodies are back out on the field.
Given that it is 2 weeks away now from the opener, is it safe to say, we've had those discussions about the freshmen that could play 2 ways. Is it safe to say that there probably won't be a big move at this point in terms of, or are you still?
I think we could have something here in the next day or two, potentially, to peek at some guys before we get into actual game plan mode for Fresno. So we've got a couple days to look at a couple things, but I think about how much we've accomplished in 2 weeks' time. And we've had a lot. There's been a lot of practices. There's been a lot of good work. A lot of guys have improved as individuals. I think we've improved as a team. So we can get a lot done in 2 weeks' time, and we're at the halfway point. And like I said, but we're not at the finish line yet. And we still got plenty of stuff we can work on to get better.
We didn't get to talk to you after last night, but talk about your offense last night. What did you see from them?
Well, I think we're seeing a lot of the weapons that we have. We are a unique group in that we can give you just about every personnel grouping. We can give you 2 tight ends. We can give you a fullback and a tailback. We can give you 4 wide receiver sets. We can give you a multitude of formations and motions, and not just put it on the field, but have real weapons at every spot. And I think we saw a lot of that last night, whether it was in the running game or the passing game. I thought the quarterbacks have gradually gotten better and more accurate throwing the deep ball, which in our offense is critical. We're a run-first team, which should in turn create one-on-one matchups on the outside with our wide receivers and our tight ends. And when we get those one-on-one matchups, we have to throw catchable balls, and we have to trust that our guys are going to make the plays. And last night I think we saw that, whether it was with George Farmer on 1 or 2, Juju on a couple, Nelson on a couple. Then that softens up the defense, and then here comes the running game again with Trey and Buck and Justin. So we've got some nice compliments going, but again, we have to hone in on some things to really tighten this thing up and get exactly where we want to be.